We'll call the meeting to order for the August 10th, 2026 Alberta City Council meeting. Clerk, please call the roll.
Counselor Christensen.
Here.
Counselor Baker.
Here.
Counselor Herman.
Here.
Counselor Olson.
Here.
Counselor Van Beek.
Here.
Counselor Anderson.
Here.
Mayor Murray.
Here, would you please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Welcome to everyone tonight, whether you're here in person or online, we're glad you're with us. Item 3 is ceremonial items. We have none tonight. Item 4 is public forum. Do we have anybody on the public forum tonight? Yes, we do. All right. John Kokut, would you please approach? Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. I'm standing before you tonight to follow up on the presentation and documentation I provided during the last public forum on July 27th regarding municipal music copyright compliance under federal law. It's now been 2 weeks since that presentation. Since then, I've sent follow-up correspondence to the full council, city clerk, recreation manager, director of Alita. I also requested a 15-minute in-person meeting with the city manager to go over our current licensing standards with ASCAP, BMI, and CCAG, and to discuss actionable solutions. Today, I have received no response and no meeting request from the city manager. Furthermore, not a single member of this council, the mayor, the city manager, the city attorney, has offered any documentation demonstrating that the city of Albert Lea is currently in full compliance. Nor has anyone reached out to discuss proactive steps I propose to protect our community. My primary goal has always been simple risk management. As I noted in my email, updating our special event permit application to require third-party event organizers to show proof of valid music licenses is a zero-cost, common-sense fix. It is no different than requiring a liquor license to serve alcohol or proof of insurance to use public parks. It insulates the city of Albert Lea from statutory liability and ensures outside entities to take responsibility for their own compliance. Ignoring this issue does not eliminate the legal exposure under federal copyright law. It simply leaves the city vulnerable. So tonight, I'm publicly asking two simple questions. Why has there been no willingness to schedule a brief meeting to review our music licenses status? And two, what is the city's concrete plan to ensure both city-managed venues and third-party events on public property operate in full compliance of federal law? Thank you for your time, and I look forward to your response.
Appreciate it. Thank you
Yes.
for sharing with us
Could I
tonight.
give this to the city clerk?
You can give it to me. Thank you. All right, that is all for the public forum, so we'll move along to item 5, consent and approval of agenda. A is the approval of minutes of the July 27, 2026 regular council meeting. Item B is the approval of minutes of the July 27, 2026 work session. Item C is license and permits. Item D is a resolution appointing the election judges for the August 11, 2026 primary election. And item E is a resolution amending the 2026 fee schedule, arena fees. Council?
Move to approve the consent and approval of agenda, Your Honor.
Motion by Councilor Baker. Is there a second?
I'll second, Your Honor.
Second by Councilor Herman. Any further discussion? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 6 is petitions, requests, and communications. We have none tonight. Item 7, unfinished business. We have none tonight. Item 8 is new business. A is a resolution authorizing professional engineering services agreement with Alliant Inc. for the East Main Street, 775th Avenue roundabout design, job 2613. City Manager?
Thank you, Your Honor. Apologies, I did not have my paper prepared here. For the past 2 years, the city's been working with the Minnesota Department of Transportation to study and prepare for the replacement of the I-35 and I-90 interstate bridge and other safety improvements on East Main Street. This is in preparation for a 2030 construction project. In 2025 and 26, the city and MnDOT applied and received 3 grants for this project, including a freight grant, a HSIP grant, and a ATP funding. excuse me. At Main Street, the proposed 230 work includes roundabouts at both I-30 ramp terminals and at 775th Avenue, as well as restriping Main Street into 2 lanes through the segment. The next required step of this project is preliminary design of the roadway. MnDOT has hired Alliant Incorporated to complete the preliminary designs of the roundabouts at 2 I-35 ramps. The city is responsible for the preliminary design of the 775th Avenue roundabout. The scope includes preparing an intersection control evaluation memo, a level 1 geometric layout and profile, preliminary hydraulics, temporary paving, and drainage to support continuous traffic operation during construction and construction limits with right-of-way acquisition. That is one long sentence. The cost to perform this work is $78,994.80. If approved by council, this work would be completed in 2026, and the city and MnDOT would use this information to go out for final design proposals in 2027. Staff is recommending entering into a professional engineering services agreement with Alliant Incorporated for time and materials not to exceed the price of $78,994.80.
Council?
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Motion by Counselor Anderson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Counselor Christensen. Any further discussion?
I would
Counselor
ask,
Baker.
I would ask that the city manager kind to talk about the reason for the roundabouts and stuff out in that particular area just a little bit.
City manager?
The reason for the roundabouts is because there have been a number of T-bone accidents that have resulted in either a near or an actual fatality, as well as just very horrendous T-bone accidents. Everything from the 2 ramps where they're trying to, everything from, let's say, someone getting off of 35 North to turn right and go east on Main. Sometimes, they look down the road, they see a semi getting ready to turn, they think that it's clear, and then they go out, and what they don't see is that there's another car passing semi. We've seen a number of accidents like that where there's been side swipes or full T-bones. It is probably the worst intersection in the community, at least for what you would consider, very dangerous accidents. It's just, I think in 2 weeks around Thanksgiving, or right around Thanksgiving, I believe a year and a half ago, there was a number of accidents almost back to back at that intersection. So it needs a lot of work. So the roundabouts, I know people don't always like roundabouts, but they are meant to, in particular, design is the way that we're generally looking at them, to really avoid those almost T-bone-like collisions or that we know have a higher degree of injury or fatality.
Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Additional questions from the council? All right, hearing none. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item B is a resolution amending the professional services agreement with Bolton and Mink, Inc. for Airport 6 Unit T Hangar Design Work Order Number 5, Job 2710. City Manager?
Thank you, Your Honor. Through the master plan process and Airport Advisory Board discussions, a 6-unit T-hangar has been identified as a priority for the airport. Federal funds have been banked for this project. This resolution would approve the design in 2026, so the project can be bid and built in 27. This resolution would amend the professional services agreement to include work order number 5. The work involves the design of the 6-unit T-hangar. The design service contract is for $62,000. Preliminary estimates for the construction of the hangar is $1,301,150. The federal government will be paying 90%, the state will be paying 5%, and the city will be paying 5%, which would total $65,057.50.
Council?
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Motion by Counselor Baker. Is there a second?
I'll second, Your Honor.
Second by Counselor Anderson. Further discussion by the council?
I have a question.
Counselor
but I don't
Baker.
know if the city manager can ask that. I looked at the plans, and I'm just curious as to, on each end, there's a half a T. So what are they, what's gonna go in there? Is that just gonna be for storage and stuff on that?
I can probably answer that for you, Larry.
Counselor Olson. Okay.
Yes, they haven't fully decided yet, but it could either be used for airport storage, for maybe some smaller equipment, or the people that rent those two ends that have the small space. We can add doors in there to where, for an extra small charge, they can get that additional kind of quarter unit too. But I think right now, I think airport staff would like to use it just for some miscellaneous storage for what they got going on.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
question, Your
Counselor
Honor.
Olson.
I have a question, Your Honor.
Counselor Herman.
What does the occupancy look like out there? Is it full all the time, 3/4 full? I mean,
City Manager?
I would say anecdotally, the last I looked, if there are any vacancies in any of our hangars, it's because of the size and difficulty of, associated with those particular hangars. I would probably ask the person that attends the airport board meetings, far more frequent than I, whether, what's the case?
Counselor Olson.
I'm pretty sure they're full.
nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a need.
Yes. Yes, these will fill up very fast.
All right. Any further discussion?
Your Honor,
Counselor Anderson.
it's also worth reiterating those numbers on what portion of this is paid by us and what portion is paid by, I think there's some government grants or something that are paying for it, if I remember reading it. City Manager.
City Manager?
Yes, the city would be paying for 5% of the project. So out of the 1.3 million, it'd be 65,000.
All right.
And our portion will be basically paid back to us in just a few years through the rent that we collect, so.
All right, good point. Thank you. All right. Hearing no further discussion, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item C is the ordinance amending zoning and land use map from the limited industrial I-1 to single-family resident R1 for PID 34.059.0920, 34.059.0930, 34.059.0990, 34.059.0970, 34.059.0980, 34.059.0950, 34.059.0960, 34.059.0940, and 34.059.0360, and lastly, 34.659.0050. And this is the first reading, and I think I got all those. City Manager.
Thank you, Your Honor. Staff has initiated the process to rezone the below highlighted properties and the ones that were just described from light industrial I-1 to single-family residential to eliminate the legal non-conforming status. In Minnesota, the legal non-conforming use refers to a property or use that was legally established once before, but no longer complies with current local zoning. Under Minnesota state statute, these properties are generally protected and are allowed to continue, be maintained and repaired, but they cannot be altered or expanded. This limits the property owner's ability to add into buildings or structures, add fencing or screening, alter the footprint of the building, and sometimes even diminishes aspects of the property's resale. The 2040 Comprehensive Plan identifies these properties as medium-density residential, which includes residential densities between 6 to 12 units an acre, places of worship, and small neighborhood services. Properties in question are not platted and are not described by meets and bounds. However, much of the land surrounding these properties is within a 100-year floodplain, and likely what can develop without substantial investment in raise and grade already has developed. The Planning Commission held a public hearing on August 4th, 2026, and after considering the staff report, in addition to public testimony, the commission recommends approval based on the following. Rezoning the properties will not have an adverse effect on existing and adjacent properties as the area is largely residential, and this meets the general zoning requirements to a single-family residential district. Planning Commission recommends approval.
Council,
Move to approve, Your Honor.
is there a second?
I'll second, Your Honor.
All right, we have a motion by Counselor Baker, second by Counselor Herman. Any further discussion by the council?
I have a
Counselor
comment.
Christensen.
Your Honor, thank you. I am serving as the liaison to the Planning Commission, and at the meeting, there really was no controversy over this. It appears to be only in the best interest of the residents who own these properties on Plainview Lane and Lincoln Avenue. And I would specifically want to thank our Community Development Director, Megan Boak, for taking the initiative to actually call these affected homes so that they understood what the letter that they received from the city actually meant. Because sometimes when we get those letters, it's kind of frightening, like what's going to happen now? But she took it upon herself to do that, and I think that's part of the reason it was a very smooth process.
All right, thank you. I appreciate those comments. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item D is a resolution approving the sale and development agreement at 725 Plainview Lane. City manager?
Thank you, Your Honor. The development agreement was attached to in the packet. The terms are similar to other agreements with $5,000 granted if they build a new home and $5,000 to cover expenses to connect or fix connections to city sewer and water. The land is sold for $4,000, but forgiven if they build the house. If they do not, the land reverts to the city or is assessed the $4,000 value. The house is 24 by 26, capable of becoming a two-bedroom house. This meets the city's plan of adding more affordable housing to the community and improving the general area. One other keynote is that we had just talked about the rezoning of that whole area, and there was the mention of the floodplain. Also part of the agreement, there is an elevation requirement of which this would be built slab on grade that would then keep it out of the house out of the floodplain. So that has been built into the agreement as well, a very specific elevation that must be met. And because of that, I do not see very large housing going in this area. It's going to be confined to smaller units.
Council?
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Motion by Counselor Anderson. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Counselor Christensen. Any further discussion by the council? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item E is a resolution authorizing action on tax forfeited properties, assessments. City manager?
Thank you, Your Honor. In order to retain for the city to retain the option to collect 2026 and future amounts due for assessments on the properties that would be included in forfeiture sale, the city is required to pass a resolution to reinstate those assessments. Staff recommends approval.
Council?
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Motion by Counselor Baker. Is there a second?
I'll second, Your Honor.
Second by Counselor Herman. Any further discussion by the council? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 9 is the mayor and council reports, and we will start with Ward 3. Counselor Herman.
Thank you, Your Honor. On July 28th, I received a call from a citizen who lives on Jansen Street. Said he was for the no parking on the north side of the street. On July 30th, I attended the Freeborn County-wide Veterans Meeting at the Freeborn County Courthouse. It's a group of veterans that get together that try to help out other veterans in need. July 30th, August 3rd, I assisted the Glenville American Legion Riders in assembling the Freeborn County main fair stage. And then today I took a citizen's complaint of long grass and I passed it on to the appropriate channels. That's all, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ward 2, Counselor Baker.
Thank you, Your Honor. I do have one ward item. I just have a question. I don't even know if the city manager can answer this, but the Water Street project that's going on, it appears that there's a couple of vacant lots down there that they've dug out and they're gonna have a driveway access put in. There's a couple houses that have driveway access, it's the old ones, and they have asphalt put down on top of the curbing. And my question is, one of the people that live out there had asked about why they aren't putting in a new driveway access to his neighbor's house. They were kind of curious as to what it was, and somebody from the city came down and talked to them and said because they're repairing the road so the water flows better. And looking at those two driveway accesses with that asphalt on it, to me, that would impede the water flow into the curb. And so I'm just curious as to why they don't look at some of these driveway accesses, and if they're in a bad situation, you know, they're bad, why aren't they replacing them? Because I really think those two should be replaced.
City manager, is that one you'd like to tackle, or should we?
I can't speak to that specifically, but shoot me a email or text to those addresses along with the city engineer. And we'll take a look at that. I know that sometimes when it comes to one of these projects, whether they're in progress or in preparation of, and we're dealing with some of the access, sometimes we will allow a temporary installation that is not meant to, that is meant to be corrected at a later date, depending upon how things are scheduled. But I cannot speak specifically to those and why that has occurred or why it looks that way, so.
It was Chris Lowe was down there to talk to them, and that's what he had told them. But, you know, from years past, I remember there's, you know, some instances where you end up with things like problems like this and like driveway accesses. And if the city, when they're doing that, if they can get the contractor to put a new one in, I know that, if I remember right, there was at least a couple of them that the homeowners actually paid for. And being that the contractor was right there to do it, it made more sense.
Yeah, again, I would have to look more into the specifics. That, you said it was on Water Street?
Yeah, the Water Street.
I would take it that this would be just a few blocks west of here? Okay, I will look into that.
Okay, well, I'll get you some more information.
Okay.
And then I had an HRA meeting that we went over, you know, the bookwork and stuff that we needed. We had a conversation about the house that's going in, at the possibility that they were looking at putting a concrete foundation in instead of a wood foundation. And everybody at the meeting seemed to be okay with that idea. And I just got a confirmation from Brian that that's what they're going to go ahead and do. They're going to put in a concrete foundation, and they're also going to put a 12 by 24 detached garage up on the Jean property. And they should, I see it's all marked out and stuff, so they should be starting on it in the next week or so. So I'll give you more reports just to let you know that we're moving forward with that project. Also, I had an Alena meeting, and I'm just going to say that, and I'm sure the mayor will follow up with this, but things are, you know, moving forward. There's a couple projects that are getting closer to realization. So, you know, there are things that are happening out there in the community that are positive, very positive for this community in many ways. So just have faith and as we move along. And then I have, tomorrow night, I have a Historic Preservation Commission meeting, and I'll be reporting on that when I come back to the next meeting. Thank you,
All
Your
right,
Honor.
thank you. Ward 1, Counselor Christensen.
Thank you, Your Honor. The city manager is looking into some general items that I had brought up to him about mosquito spraying in particular. Other than that, no ward items. The senior center group is continuing to meet, looking at options for some fundraising possibilities for helping to make the new senior center a beautiful facility. Blue Zones group is continuing to meet as well. And other than that, it's summer, and we've just been able to enjoy mostly beautiful weather for the fair, which was great, and that's about it.
All right, thank you. Ward 6, Counselor Anderson.
Your Honor, no ward items. Counselor Baker gave us a better update than I could on the HRA. That's great. The House, that's wonderful news. Nothing else to report, just the fair was great. I spent more than a little time out there, and it's always bittersweet because it kind of marks the beginning of the end of summer. So here we go, into fall almost. Your Honor.
All right. Ward 5, Counselor Van Beek.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm currently working on 4 ward items. 3 of them I've pushed on to the correct person, and then one of them was a mosquito spraying situation. But that should be wrapped up here in the next week or so. This Thursday, I have a Human Rights Commission meeting. Other things I've been working on, this Saturday, August 15th, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Armory here in town. The Ride for Heroes will have a veteran stand down. Basically, that's offering services and products for all veterans and their families, free of charge, 100% funded through contributions from the community, through different things we've done. And then going forward in the more distant future, September 19th, the Nation of Patriots will be returning to Albert Lee. And this time we're looking at between 200 to 400 bikes. It'll be quite the spectacle. And then next year, another thing I've been working on, June 14th, the Monday after the Eddie Cochran Festival, Albert Lee will be the host for the Harley Davidson Harley Owners Group Kickoff Summer Tour Festival. Wow. So that's all I got.
That's exciting. Thank you. Ward 4, Counselor Olson.
All right, don't have much this week, but with the fair coming to a close, that means school's right around the corner. So that means more kids out walking to school, more new drivers driving out on Bridge Street. So just keep your eyes open for the change in traffic patterns, and especially my area with Hawthorne, we have a lot of walkers that walk to Hawthorne School. So if you're in my area, keep an eye out for the little ones. I'll probably bring it up again next week, but I'm not exactly sure when school starts, but I know it'll be here before we know it. That's it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Myself for reports, I had a couple of LEDA project update meetings over the past 2 weeks. And on July 30th, Noel Victoria of LEDA and myself went down and visited with Albert Lee Electroplating. And Albert Lee Electroplating has been in this community for a long, long time. The Hibbard family started that business, and the 2 boys now are running it. And they're talking on some succession planning with some other young men in the organization there. But they've got 20-some employees, almost 30 employees down there. Been in business for many, many years, so great to have them in the community. We had a great visit with them, talking about just the future of this company and all the bright prospects they have. And so it was exciting just to go down and visit with a business that I hadn't been at in a few years. So it was kind of fun to get down there and see what all they're doing. And then we had a couple employees that took us on a little tour of some of the different things they do. I don't understand it all, but it's quite a process and a very much appreciated business in the community of Albert Lee. So thank you to the Hibbard family for taking us on that tour and discussion. And then that evening, I went to Thursdays on Fountain, and then after that, we went out to the Moose Lodge. There was a fundraiser for the Eddie Cochran statue. And so they had a band out there and a lot of people out there helping to raise some money to put this statue up by the Eddie Cochran show next year. On the 31st, the city manager and I went out and visited with Pro Manufacturing, working on some items with them. Again, another great employer in this community. I believe Pro has 60-some employees in the community, so another great, player in our community that has done a lot of great things, providing great jobs for the community. So we're glad to see them as part of Albert Lee. And then I had the regular Albert Lee LEDA meeting on August 5th. We did some project updates. We did get a new hire made. Kendall Johnson will be coming to work for us here over the next week or so. She'll be joining us. She's out in Wisconsin working right now, but wrapping up things out there. And she's a native of Freeborn County. So glad to have Kendall back in the area. We were very excited when she interviewed with us. She's a young lady that really did a good job of doing her homework. And she understood our businesses, she understood some of the things that we were doing, and she was able to share some of those things with us as we were doing the interview. So she rose right to the top during that interview. We had 3 good candidates, but she really seemed like somebody we wanted to bring on and get involved here with the Alita in Albert Lee. She'll be a great addition to our team there. And then August 4th through 9th, I attended the Freeborn County Fair virtually every day, and I think I tried most of the foods out there. They were all delicious, so what a great time. It's just fun being out there, seeing all the people that you get to visit with, and all the kids having a great time. But just a wonderful, wonderful time in the community. We had some great bands playing at night out there, and I think the fans really enjoyed that. And then on Saturday, August 8th, I attended the 4-H auction, which was held in the morning out there. Again, this is a way for the community to come together and help raise some money to help these kids fund their 4-H projects. And so we had, I don't know, several hundred sheep and goats and beef and pigs and everything coming through the auction. And we were able to bid on ribbons and help the kids with their projects going forward. So, very, very good time. I also attended the church service that was put together. We didn't get to have that out at the fairgrounds because it was raining right up until the time of the service. So New Life Church put it on at their church, and we were filled to the brim with people out there. So that was good to see also. And then calendar of events for things coming down the road here. The last Wind Down Wednesday of the season will be this Wednesday, August 12th, from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. Come to downtown Albert Lee to check out the Summer Market and Music Festival. There's a variety of activities, great music, unique product, and food vendors all in the community. And I believe I also saw something, some of the food vendors would be down there for lunch that day. So if you want to have lunch also, they'd be available over the noon hour. Thursdays on Fountain Music this week will be by the Chrome Wheels Band, starting at 5:30 p.m. at the Fountain Lake Gazebo. The Chrome Wheels Band performs a mix of country dance, top 40, and a mix of rock music too. Right after this, head to Edgewater Park for the Bayside Ski Show, which starts at 7 p.m. Friday, August 14th, the Movies in the Park feature will be Zootopia 2, and it will be at the Edgewater Park Bandshell starting at 8 p.m. This will be a great movie for family. Friday, August 14th, you can also ride the lake with the Glow Ride event at 9 p.m. Meet up at North Broadway Lot, bring some glow sticks, wear reflective clothing, or have road lights for your bike and ride around Fountain Lake. Helmets are required. Saturday, August 15th, 8 a.m. is Rock and Roll the Lakes. There are 10, 30, or 50-mile bike routes throughout Albert Lee and Freeborn County. All rides start and end at Central Park in Albert Lee. Anyone on the roads, drive safely and be aware of the bike traffic. Also, as mentioned by Councilor Van Beek, on Saturday, August 15th, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m., there will be a veteran stand-down and resource event out at the National Guard Armory. Again, free resources for veterans and their families all in one place. Smart Transit will be offering rides, free rides from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Just mention the event, and there'll be more information out on the Ride for Heroes Facebook page. And then on Thursday, August 20th, Thursdays on Fountain will have music provided by Ron and Steve Unplug. Come and enjoy the timeless rock hits and crowd favorite tunes. Music starts at 5:30, and again, Bayside Ski right after that. That's on the 20th. And I think that's all I have for tonight. With that, was that enough? And they don't say there's much to do, huh? There are a lot of things going on. So get out and enjoy the community. With that, we'll move along to item 10, City Manager Report. City Manager?
I'm going to quickly give my report, but I do want to talk to everyone real quick about availability of having a special meeting to go over the budget, capital improvement plan, and strategic plan, because we're kind of tight on time. We have been going through the budget process. We just recently got in all the capital improvement items. We've had to move a few things around to try to make sure that certain funding sources line up with some of the requests. We are currently looking at a potential lease with some parking spaces for a particular business in order for them to be able to grow and expand. We have reviewed a housing study proposal and have responded back with some questions and looking at some potential add-ons. This is not just simply rental, but this would be senior, this would be, single family, this would be rental housing, it would be all aspects of housing, including even some nonconformity or conversion. As the mayor said, we met with Pro Advantage, and I'm currently working on a potential deal to, work with them to not only keep them here in this community as the valuable asset that they are, but also to find a way to support their growth here and staying here with that growth in the community. We should be having a hearing set up next meeting for the disposal of 338 South Broadway, or the former theater building. A couple of things that hold on here, I have my notes everywhere. We met with, the city clerk and I met with Freeborn County IT Director and with a company that we're looking at potentially using some sort of AI system to help with everything from data requests to typing up minutes and reports, basically using AI to really reduce certain human error, but most importantly, reduce the amount of time that goes through in search and the reliance on memory of staff alone in order to find such items. We've seen very positive uptick in the use of the library over the summer with some of our summer programs. We'll be having a presentation on that, but basically it was right around 20% increase in use with the library over the summer. So, congratulations to our director, Anise, and thank you to the entire staff there for making it such a wonderful, positive experience this summer. And we are looking at trying to, we've made an offer for the recreational manager position. I have not heard back yet as to the results of that, but that is kind of a top priority for us right now, because there have been certain things that within recreation that we would like to get done. Certain administrative items that we'd like to see corrected, but right now, because we've been short-staffed since December in that position, we really need to get that filled in order to alleviate the amount of time necessary to give full attention to some of those other items, some of which I know has been requested of the council for more immediate action. And despite, some people's lament of summer ending, I think we should be excited about fall starting. It's the best time of year. With that, though, I would like to turn to the board and talk about availability date of September 12th. I know one of you cannot make it. But I really haven't heard from, I believe, everybody as to whether or not the 12th could work from 9 to 12, or if it might work a little bit later in the day. We really need to have some time for going over the capital improvement plan. If Saturday doesn't work at all, then I guess we can see if we can't find maybe a Thursday evening. That might be able to work better, but it has to be approximately that time, because the meeting, okay, I want to say it's the 23rd, no, not the 20, maybe it is the 23rd, September 23rd or somewhere around there. We will have the council meeting where we have to do the preliminary budget. And I would like to have a more full discussion with the council before we even go into preliminary budget, at least as full as we can get it. About what we're looking at, what's in it, what some challenges are. Additionally, I feel it's important for us to also wrap up the strategic plan. I don't know how many of you had a chance to read it. If you feel comfortable just doing it in the regular workshop next meeting, we certainly can do that in the workshop if you feel that you are ready to go. But I do not feel that if we wait until September, we can both fit in budget, capital improvement plan, which is necessary. in order to have certain discussions in October, instead of waiting until the very end of the year to talk about the capital improvement plan. And then also the strategic plan. All three of those cannot fit in the workshops starting next meeting and in September. We just can't do it. So we've got to find some kind of time to have an earlier meeting or a off-schedule meeting. So it was suggested doing Saturday, where we'd be able to have full staff to at least cover those items that I think greatly do impact at least the department heads.
All
As
right,
well as the
so
council.
how do people feel about that? Saturday, the 12th?
I emailed you, and I'm available.
I know you're available,
All day.
and I know, Keith, you would not be, so.
I can be there from 8 till
But
whenever.
this morning, even if I have a wedding that I'm at, I can do the morning 9 to 12, I could. But a Thursday night would also work, so that Keith could be there as well. What does everybody prefer?
I'll let them know tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay.
Okay.
I'm available. I prefer Saturday to Thursday.
all right.
It's on my calendar.
Okay.
Okay, so we should have that. Larry, you figure out what you've got. I think I'm good for either of those dates.
On, which one are we talking about now?
The 12th, or I believe the next, the
Okay.
Thursday's the
Yep.
17th.
Yep.
Or the Thursday before, if either one of those works. So either the Thursday before the 12th
So
or,
the 10th or the 17th would be a Thursday.
and the problem with the Thursday after the 12th, there's not a whole lot of time between that
And
and
the 21st.
the 21st, when we, that following Monday, which I think that might be the Monday that we actually have to do the preliminary budget. I will double check, but I think that one was cutting it close.
I'll let you know tomorrow.
Okay.
And if you need Thursday, I'm available for the 10th,
Thursday, the 10th?
as well as the 12th, yes.
Okay. And we'd probably be looking at that from like a 5 to 8 is what we'd be looking at. Hopefully that would work for scheduling, or we can make it 5:30 to 8:30.
I can make 5 to 8, that'll work.
Okay.
What's the best for staff? Thursday evening on an already workday or taking part of their Saturday?
I think well, when you already come in at 9, or wait a minute, no, that's when I come in, sorry. When you come in at 8. Joke. Anyway, yeah, it can make for a long day, but we also know that it's not very often, and it's pretty important, so.
We have quarterly meetings often, so it's not unusual.
Well, we have quarterly meetings twice a year, so it's.
Yeah, what happened to that for?
All right, so you got some dates to work with there, and it sounds like pretty much everybody is okay with these two.
Okay. Let me go to staff then, and we'll try to get something worked out here.
All right.
And Larry's gonna email me his availability,
Or text you.
or text me. Yes.
Maybe I'll even call you.
Item 11 is approval of claims. A is a resolution approving claims, and 1 is a presentation of claims over $25,000. City manager.
Thank you, Your Honor. $25,269.30 to Bolton Mink Incorporated. This is the phosphorus removal design. $26,304.93 to BCM Construction. Payment estimate 4 for lead service line replacement. $26,792 to Freeborn County Co-op Oil. This is unleaded gas. $27,076 to Minnesota Department of Health Water Service Connection Fee. $28,675.72 to Albert Lee Convention Visitors Bureau. This is lodging tax. $31,230 to Freeborn County Co-op Oil. This is diesel fuel. $36,304.25 to Bolton Mink Incorporated for the wastewater treatment facility improvements, preliminary engineering. $49,369.53 solar connection. This is for the final payment of the solar panels at City Hall. $86,749.70 to Jensen Excavating. This is payment number 5 for St. Mary and 14th Street reconstruction. $155,006.65 to GEM Contracting. Payment 1 for Sorensen Road Water Main Replacement Project, $195,074.22 to Yulin Brothers. Payment 2 for Neighborhood Improvement Project, Job 2601, $222,893.88 to Service Southeast Service Cooperative, Health Insurance, approximately 87% employer, 13% employee, $298,240.72 to Icon LLC, St. Valley and Marshall Street Reconstruction.
Council.
Move to approve, Your Honor.
Motion by Counselor Anderson. Is there a second?
I'll second, Your Honor.
Second by Counselor Herman. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Motion carries. Item 12 is adjournment. Counselor Christensen.
Move to
makes the
adjourn.
motion. All right, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Van Beek. All in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Meeting adjourned.